Hello and welcome to another episode of Firefighter Pinball Tutorials. I'm Dennis B, and today we're going to talk about one of the better tables on the AtGames 4KP, well, and HD for that matter, one of the better Magic Pixel tables. This is Firefighter Wildlands, First Responders, super cool table. It's been out for a couple of months now. And it is in this week's, as the time of recording this, it's in this week's Flipper Friends tournament, the first Flipper Friends tournament where they've actually combined all of the platforms across HD platforms and 4K and the new HDP, so everyone's playing in one big tournament. This is one of the tables, and so I wanted to put this video together to help people for the Flipper Friends tournament, but just in general, hopefully you'll learn a few things and improve your scores. So let's just jump into it. You know, this is your typical fucking Magic Pixel table. You know, you've got your ramps and your orbit. You got your usual bouncy ass physics. The great thing about this one though that is helpful is you've got two out lanes on each side instead of three, which, believe me, is a little bit better. I like it. Like whenever you have the ones with the two in lanes and one out lane on each side, like you get more those out lane drains and more bounces over there. It's a little bit more frustrating for me. So I like that they went down to the 4 lanes, 2 in lanes, 2 out lanes. Much better layout. And like I said, your typical, you got your one ramp here that feeds right back down to your in lane, and you've got the same one over here. So if you get good at doing these shots, you could actually have a nice repeatable cross shot going where it's like, okay, you hit it here, comes down, you hit it here, comes down, you hit it here, and you go back and forth between the 2 ramps. So if you're a rhythm player like me and you can get that rhythm going, you can get a lot of combos and a lot of points on that. Of course, you've got your capture all here where you start your modes, and then you've also got your Hero's Chance, random award when that's lit. You collect your extra ball there when that's lit, and then Mega Fire is the wizard mode for this. Okay. Okay, other things to note. You got your top rollovers here. These are for your multipliers. We'll talk about this more in a bit, but super important to stay on top of those because you can move them for every single time you plunge. The ball's going to end up here, and you can move the lit lanes or the unlit lanes to make sure that the ball goes down an unlit one so that you light it, and you light all 3, and then you increase your end of ball bonus from 2x, 3x, all the way up to 10x. You definitely want to do that and stay on top of that. Okay, and as we talked about here, so we talked about the lanes, and then you've got your typical orbit here where you just fire the ball around, then it comes back around here, and then you have your very important crossing shot here. So again, that's, ball comes up the orbit, comes to this lane, and then you fire it across, and it goes back around the orbit again, or depending on your, how well you hit it and how much momentum you've got, it can stop in the rollovers, or it can come all the way around for a loop. Let's see. The biggest, kind of pain in the ass thing with this table that I think, frustrates the most people, frustrates me, is this fire line. I'll call them spot targets. They're not really spot targets. These things kind of flip around. I'm sure they have a technical name for them, but this kind of wall here, super dangerous, because when you drill a ball straight at it, which a lot of times you're fighting the ball off, trying to save your life, it hits that and comes right back at you. So even though it's it is set back a little bit further away, so I will give Magic Pixel credit. Like there are some tables, like I think like the Grinch, where it's like right here, right in front of your fucking flippers. Oops, sorry, hit my camera there. So thankfully it's a little bit further back, so you have some time to react, but it's still, it's a super dangerous shot. And unfortunately there's a mode that requires that. It's hard to do it and keep the ball in play. So again, talk about more of that in a bit. Couple other things to note on the table. You've got these drop targets here. Once again, man, pain in the ass. Every time Magic Pixel has a drop, these drop targets that are set here along the side, inevitably, man, the ball hits off a slingshot, hits off the drop targets. The drop targets take all of the momentum off the ball, and it's always a nice slow bounce right down the fucking middle. So you got to be cautious of that. I try to do some proactive nudging when the ball is kind of hitting this wall or laying around this wall. See if you can nudge it and kick the ball over here. Otherwise, you get that nice soft, roll and there's nothing you can do about it but sit there and wave at the ball. And if you look at the reflection in the ball, there's a middle finger going, see ya, right down the middle. Okay, and then couple more things. Okay, very, very, very important shot, probably the most important shot of the game, is this lock hole. And when I say it's the most important shot of the game, it's the most important shot if you actually want to get a lot of points. So this is what starts the main multi-ball mode, one of the two multi-ball modes, but this is like kind of the biggie. And you want to learn this shot and practice it. This is the one that you want to hit a lot. And then the last thing, again, you have these bottom rollovers here. Once again, just like the top rollovers, you want to stay on top of these. You want to make sure that when the ball is coming down the ramp or coming into these lanes, make sure you're hitting your flipper buttons to move the lit lights to make it unlit so that the ball comes through and lights it. This is how you get your ball save and activate what they call rescue, but it's your ball save. You need this a lot. You need to try to keep the ball save active as much as possible, because as per usual with the Magic Pixel table and some of the shots we talked about, the ball is inevitably going to deflect off of this. It's inevitably going to hit this. It's inevitably going to hit a post and come right down the middle. Get that ball save. It's like having a bunch of extra balls, because you're gonna need it for this. And that's pretty much it. That covers all of the shots of the table. One other thing I should probably point out too is these drop targets, when you hit them all, it activates this loop assist. The loop assist is basically like not a magnet save, but it's a magnet that stops and holds the ball for you above this flipper to basically slow the ball down so you can hit the crossing shot. But I got to tell you, man, it's more of a pain in the ass than a help. Like, it really gets in the way when you activate it during a multi-ball and you're trying to hit this lane. It actually stops the ball and prevents you from hitting that lane and getting a jackpot shot. It sucks. I really, if there's one thing I wish they would get rid of, it's the loop assist, because I don't think it's necessary. And it certainly shouldn't work for a ball that you're hitting this way up the lane. I'm totally cool with it if, okay, you're going for the loop and you want to go up this lane and around the orbit and then get the loop assist so you can get across. But like, if you're shooting for this lane, you're not going for the loop, man. I don't know. It's just one of those things that bugs me, because it's a bad design, because it's more of a hindrance than a help. Okay, so that's the basic layout of the table. Now, what you've got here is these are all the modes of the table, right? And the different things that you need to accomplish. But I'll be honest with you, I don't really want to go through all of the individual modes. They're all pretty straightforward. When the mode lights up, it's, the shot that you need to hit is gonna light. There's various things that you need to do. So I think for voluntary evacuation, again, you're hitting the ramps. For mandatory evacuation, you're only hitting. I'm sorry. For voluntary, I think you can hit any shot. For mandatory evacuation, you have to hit these ramps, and I think you have to hit this one, then this one, and like in an alternating fashion. The fire line is hitting this shot right here and lighting all 8 of those letters. Mop up is a separate mode that you do, I think, after all these modes are done. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around here. Backfire is hitting this crossing shot. This is probably the hardest mode, because you have to set yourself up for the crossing shot. And I know I was just talking about the loop assist, but again, trying to hit these things on purpose to get the loop assist, to get that shot, you're better off just learning the timing of doing the loop around and then doing the crossing shot. Okay, so backfire is hitting the cross shot. I believe it's like 4 or 5 times. And then spot fires is, again, it's random shots are lit up and you have to hit that shot, the one that's lit. Okay, so we talked about this multi-ball here. There's also a smoke jumper multi-ball. That's these green lights here. You light those green lights by hitting the orbit all the way around. You hit it enough times, you light all those up, and it starts a smoke jumper multi-ball. And the smoke jumper multi-ball, again, is just the 2 orbit lanes. You have to hit those for a jackpot. The jackpots add up quickly. Okay. Mop-up duty is, like I said, I believe after you finish the red ones, then you can do mop-up. And I believe mop-up is you have to hit every major shot once across all the tables. And then the final is the Firehawk Super Jackpot. So we'll talk about the Firehawk multi-ball in a minute, but the Firehawk multi-ball is this multi-ball right here where you have to light the 3 locks and then lock 3 balls, and then this helicopter takes off and drops the balls in the middle. That is the most important mode of the game, and the one that you just want to do over and over and over again, because that's where all the points are. It's unfortunate. It makes doing the modes somewhat irrelevant, because all you want to do is just do multi-ball, 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 and then in some cases you even probably want to hit a lot of combos as well. That's going to get your score up faster than trying to fuck around with all these modes and lose balls, because the modes are kind of a pain in the ass to do. But if you are able to get all of these lit up, you do all the modes, you complete these top ones, which I neglected to talk about in a second, and you do all these. That's how you get to the wizard mode, and the wizard mode can actually get you a shit ton of points in the wizard mode. But I got to be honest with you, getting there, it's just too much work involved in getting there. Where like the shortcut to getting points is the multi-ball. So last 2 things I forgot to talk about, the Hot Shot Pops and the Firestorm combo. So the Hot Shot Pops is simply this. You have to hit the bumpers 100 times, and that gives you 5 million points, and that lights that light. And then Firestorm combo, that is hitting combo shots all the way through an entire cycle. So basically you hit one ramp, and I'm sorry, you hit the ramp once, and then all of the red arrows will light up. Okay, then you hit another ramp, and that gets you your first combo, 1 million. Then you hit it again for 2 million, 3 million, and then 5 million. When you hit that 5 million combo, that's your Firestorm combo. That completes that mode. So essentially you have to hit the ramps or the orbit five times in a row. And then if you do get to the Firestorm combo and get that 5 million, if you can keep the combos going, every subsequent combo that you hit in that cycle is 5 million and 5 million and 5 million and 5 million. So like I mentioned before, if you can get a rhythm going where you're hitting ramp, 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 it's 5 million, 5 million, 5 million, 5 million, 5 million over and over and over again. And again, you don't have to do ramps. You could do ramp and orbit, and then just keep going. As long as you're hitting any of these red shots, even the crossing shot, you're going to keep that combo going. So yeah, so that's the overview of the table. So now I'm going to fire it up, and I'm gonna show you a couple other kind of tips and tricks and things to kind of know, and hopefully I can kind of get
we're following breaking news.
Get the Firehawk multi-ball going. I'll show you a couple of things there. So, all right. So when you're plunging the ball, there's 2 different things. You've got your lit lights at the top. That is a skill shot. So that is, again, a randomized, when you plunge the ball, if you can get it to go down the blinking one, that's going to give you a skill shot. There's also kind of a super skill shot where if you actually hold down the flipper, and I'm sorry, I need to double check, make sure I super skill shot. Oh, sorry, scrolling. Skill shots. Super skill shot, the left flipper while launching the ball. Okay, I just want to make sure it was a left flipper. So this is what I would call the medieval madness secrets skill shot here. So you hold the flipper down when you plunge, the ball comes all the way around, and then you need to hit a ramp, and I missed it. But basically, when those ramps are lit, so here, let me restart the game and see if I can do it so you can actually see it. But
the battle to contain it starts now.
Okay, and then do I hit the? Oh god. Okay, I won't bother with it. Start
We
over.
interrupt
Okay,
your regular
so
program with breaking news.
I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna forego the
Wildfire is
super
now
skill
threatening
shot,
several communities in the
just because
region.
I'm not locked in and focused at the moment. But what I do want to do is do that plunge so I get the ball to come around nice and soft. Now for me, what I want to do is work on this lock shot here. So this is again the most important shot of the game, as I mentioned. So what you want to do when you first are doing this mode, or the multi-ball mode, all you have to do is get one ball in there and it unlocks all three of those locks. So boom, it's as simple as that. Okay, and then you get the automatic plunge, which sometimes if you can override it and do it yourself, sometimes that's better. Oh god, okay. So I got lucky there. I was trying for a dead flip and the ball just kind of blew up on me, but essentially I just got that into the lock ball. So that's my first lock ball right there. All right, so I got it again. So I'd want to again go for that lock. Okay, and this is an important thing too. If you ever miss and you miss around the orbit, let the ball come around and dead flip off of your left flipper, okay? And it works, I would say 9 times out of 10, maybe 9.5 times out of 10, it's actually gonna just softly bounce off the very tip of the flipper and come over to your right flipper, and then you can capture it. So important thing to note, because sometimes it's really hard on these Magic Pixel games to get those bouncy physics to settle down and capture the ball. Okay, so there's our second locked ball. And then, as I mentioned before, stay on top of those top rollovers to get your... Okay, so now I'm trying to just settle the ball down so I can get my ball lock, so let it, So again, I got lucky. I fired it off of this, and, that can be dangerous at times, but sometimes you're just trying to, save. Now, the biggest thing that I struggle with is after the ball plunges and it bounces around in the bumpers, when it comes out here, it's very hard to kind of know where it's going to go. It's very inconsistent, so you have to kind of just, you just have to kind of react to where the ball's coming in order to kind of catch it. There is no consistency on like, okay, do this single thing every time, like some of the Zen tables. So you just have to be wary of like when the ball's coming here, protect against it coming down the middle. So anyway, I'll stop talking way too much here, but let me see if I can get this final ball lock. So here you go. So here is the Firehawk multi-ball. So what's going to happen is all of these lights are lit. I got to hit all of these lanes. Okay, and then if you hit enough of them, I believe it's 5, then a single random lane is going to get lit, and you need to hit that one for the super jackpot. So that's a jackpot, that's a jackpot, that's a jackpot, that's a jackpot right there. These are all of those that hit the lanes are all jackpot shots, and then I'm letting the ball. So now if you look, only one lane is lit, that's the super jackpot, so I got to hit that lane, and I just completely screwed the fucking pooch there because I'm busy talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. So essentially, you saw what I did there. I was hitting jackpots on the lit lanes, and then when you reach a certain number, I believe it's 5, 6, I can't remember exactly what it is, then you get the super jackpot. Now, the single jackpots start, I believe that they start at $1 million. I'm just gonna double check to make sure I'm let me find the Firehawk multi-ball. Okay, so each jackpot, starts at $1 million and goes up to 20. So each one of those that I hit, the first one was $1 million, then it went to 2, then it went to 3, then it went to 4, and it goes up and up and up, and it goes up to 20 million. So if you can get that cycle going, that's 20 million per shot per jackpot, and that's the single jackpot. Then after they get to the super jackpot, that super jackpot starts at 30 million and goes up to 60. So if you can do that super jackpot multiple times, it doesn't take a math genius to figure out that's where all the points add up, man. So like just those shots, just hitting those shots over and over and over again, if you can go through that cycle 2 or 3 times within a multi-ball, I mean, you're already at 500, 600 million points. And then imagine if you can then get to that multi-ball, that shot that I was just showing you, multiple times during a game. That's how you get into the billions of scoring. So I, again, just completely screwed that that mode up, but I'm gonna then now go right back to working that one. Now the difference now is that before I only had to get one ball in there and it lit all 3 of those locks. Now for the next time around, I have to actually put 3 balls in there, 1 for each lock, and then I have to do it again to lock each ball. So now I need to do 6 into there to get to the Firehawk again. So I'm glad that they did that. They made it a little bit tougher to so you can't just keep pounding multi-ball. Now you still can, but it takes a little bit more work.
Super skill shot.
So I got the super skill shot there. So I'm gonna let the ball kind of come down. See if I can. I'm really trying to see. There you go. Oh God! See, I got. Just trying to settle this ball down here. There you go. Okay, so again, got kind of lucky, bounced off of there and actually came to my left flipper. A lot of times it bounces off there and comes right down the middle. So, and then you have your rescue, which I'll show. I'll see if I can get that. Show you my method for getting that lit consistently. So right now, again, I'm going to work on trying to get those locks again. So that's my first one locked. Okay, so you can't do the secret plunge on a ball lock. Wish you could. Okay, so I'm gonna try to dead flip. Oh God, yep. That's just me trying to be too fine with it. But you try to get the ball to dead flip and kind of come up away from the flipper so you can catch it, and just sometimes just the bounces just don't go your way, and that's the thing that I think a lot of people struggle with on these Magic Pixel tables. Is just the bounces are just very unpredictable. They explode on you, and they're very rubber ballish, like that one there. Usually that rolls up your flipper no problem, and it just didn't there. Okay, so now I've got it captured here, so I want to get it over to the right flipper. So for folks that are, again, that play this all the time and know how to do the nudge pass, this is what I'm going to do here. So for me personally, for up nudges, I do physical nudge. For left and right nudges, I use the buttons. It's just for me, trying to do the up nudge, I don't like taking my hands off the flipper buttons, so that's why I do the physical nudge. Physical nudge, though, you got to allow yourself like half a second of lag before it actually reacts, but I'll show you right now. I'm gonna physically up nudge to kick the ball over to my other flipper here. So I'm gonna pump it up right there and then let it roll softly to my other one. So again, it's just a quick jerk of the machine forward to get it over. So again, for people that are kind of newer to these tables and to the AtGames, use the accelerometer to your advantage. So now I'm gonna miss, but thankfully came right back. Got lucky there, and then there I missed. So watch this, boom. If you miss and it goes around the loop, just do that. Very simple. Dead flip right back to your flipper, and it gives you another chance at that. So now again, I'm a little bit worried about this ball coming down. You have this flipper here. I worry about that. See, that's what I worry about with doing that flipper.
Containment efforts have failed.
And the game is over. I really fucked that up. So let me go through this again. We'll start up another game here, and I'll just quit that round and start over instead of waiting for that.
Breaking news. A fast-moving wildfire has erupted just outside the city limits. Fire crews are mobilizing now.
Do that.
Super skill shot.
So that's probably the best way to do the super skill shot, is do the catch it, orbit around, get the points for the skill shot, let the ball dead flip over here, and then you're set up for your
locks are lit
for your multi-ball shot. So this one here, as you can see, the biggest issue that I have, a challenge I have with this table, is when that ball comes down that right-hand side is how do I... Okay, so now I'm going to nudge pass over, and then boom, right back, right into that lock. That takes just, practice, timing, and skill to just, figure out the timing of how to get that ball. Okay, so again, around there, let it dead flip, capture it. Now, there's a couple other things that now that I think about it that I want everyone to kind of know and be aware of if you're not familiar already. So you have kickbacks on both sides, right? So this right kickback does not work. It's a glitch in the game, and it fucking sucks. It's a pain in the ass because what happens is if the ball goes down and you have the kickback lit, it will capture the ball and then it'll try to kick it back, but the ball never comes out. It gets stuck here and comes right back out and drains. So if you have this kickback lit and the ball comes down there, you better hope that you have a ball, your ball rescue done or blinking, because that ball's gone. And it's something I hope that they fix, but right now that never comes out. The other thing that happens too is sometimes it actually gets stuck in the kickback and you kind of hear the noise trying to kick the ball out, and it doesn't work either. That actually is better, because then you can go, if that happens to you, don't tilt out, don't get frustrated. All you have to do is go to the reset ball, okay? That doesn't allow you to lose the ball, but what it'll do is it'll take it out and put it in the plunger for you. So don't tilt and get frustrated if it gets stuck. Just do the reset ball. Okay. But I just want to point that out, that's one of the biggest kind of glitches and issues with this game, is that right kickback just doesn't work.
Ball 2 is lost.
I'm not fast enough on moving that. So, again, that's just my sloppy way of just trying to get the ball settled down. If you can get it, some of the best ways if you can do it is shooting it to a ramp, so that gets you a nice soft roll to your in lanes. That's probably a good way to save yourself. But let me go for this final lock here. Okay. So now this thing comes out. Now you can sit and wait on it and let it drop on its own, or if you push the buttons, then the balls will come out. So let me see if I can. That's a jackpot. But the more you hit jackpots and super jackpots, that ball rescue is going to stay active. And I just got the super jackpot there. That was the first one. Lost that ball, and my ball save is gone. Oh boy. So thankfully that ball rescue just activated. Missed it again. Okay, I got lucky. So that last jackpot was 12 million points right there. So those keep going up. Another super jackpot. That was 40 million points, just that one shot. Where's my... Got it. That super jackpot was 50 million right there. That's just one shot. Oh, my ball rescue is gone. And my ball rescue is gone. It drained, and then I hit in there, and now it's starting a mode. So I guess now's a good time to talk about modes. So when you start a mode, you'll see the ball is on fire. And so this is the backfire mode. So this is the hardest mode, in my opinion, and it's a pain in the ass. So you can see I need to hit the crossing shot here, okay? Now, in my opinion, when the ball is on fire and you're in a mode, and I'm probably killing, there's a timer here too that I'm probably ruining, but for me, the ball physics seem to be a little bit off and a little bit different when you're in the mode and the ball's on fire. I could be wrong, and it might be just a mental thing, but I just have a really hard time when the ball is, when you're in a mode, the ball physics just seem a little bit different to me. So what I'm trying to do here is essentially try to hit the orbit, get it to come around, time it, and then hit the crossing shot. It's not easy, and I'm probably going to drain on this. See, I'm early on it. Early.
Ball rescue is activated.
Alright, let me try to nudge it over. Get it. Okay, there you go. There's one. Oh. not going to work that like that. All right, let me see if I can get it. Oh, late.
All rescue is activated.
Got it again. I think I need to get it one more time. Nope, early. Early again. Really hard to time. Okay, so I had a ball save. Just lucky. It's gonna come all the way around, capture it. Okay, come on, man. Let's see if I can get this. Late on it again. It's just really hard to get that timing. Okay, so now the loop assist is activated, which could be helpful. Let's see. So that's going to stop the ball for me. Time it up. Nah, not quite there. Oh, God. Let's hoping for a nice roll. And there you go. Drain. That's hard, man. It's hard. I had multiple opportunities to get it. I just was gacking it a little bit early, but that's kind of why I don't do modes, because those they're hard and you lose a ball and there's not a lot of points there. If I got that would have been like, what, 10 or 15 million points. Not a ton. So, but anyway, really quickly, I got, to go back to the multi-ball. That was just one multi-ball on my first ball, and I'm already up over 300 million. So again, you can do the math. If I can get multi-ball multiple times, that was the regular skill shot because I got the lit light. And there you go. Bonus. Okay, so now we talked about this before. I need to lock 3 balls. So I need to light 3 lights and then lock 3 more. So that's 6 times into this hole over here.
Lock is lit.
And then every time you lock a ball, the ball is going to end up there, and that gives you an opportunity to light those lights and get your bonus multiplier up all the way up to 10x, which can be a ton of points at the end of a ball. So definitely do not neglect those lights. Adds up really fast. Late.
Lock
2.
is lit.
So as I said, man, practice that. It's, just tip of the flipper. Oh, see, and there you go. That was the bounce I was talking about. Off of those drop targets, it deadens the ball right down the middle, and I was busy bullshitting and not paying close enough attention to I should have nudged. But that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You got to be wary of when the ball's coming off the slingshot and hitting that. It just, most of the time you're going down the middle. So just be wary of that.
Super skill shot.
Oh God. As I said, got it around there, let it do the dead flip, catch it, live to fight another day. Again, most of the time when you're going all the way around that loop, it's gonna hit that. You're gonna be fine. It looks scary because it's the very tip of the flipper, but it'll land. Very rarely does it not hit your flipper. Oh God. See, look, I just done it 3 times in a row. It keeps hitting the flipper, no problem. Now if I could just get my damn shot right, I wouldn't have to worry about it, would I? Oh my God, come on. All right, I'm a little early. And now I'm late, and then that drains. And that is ball 3. I think that's game over. Oh, actually, you know what? I got an extra ball. Sorry, let me talk about extra balls. 2 ways to get extra balls. 75 million points, you get a free extra ball, and then you can get an extra ball when this Hero's Chance random award comes up as well. So so I passed 75 million, that's my extra ball. So let me plunge this out. Really, I can't believe it.
Super skill shot.
There's a super skill shot, and then again, like this shot, it's easy. I do it a million times, but sometimes if you're not like completely locked in, it can be tougher than it needs to be. So just practice, practice, practice. Oh boy, right down the middle. Oh, and of course it started a mode. This is the thing that sucks about this. So now this is the other mode that completely sucks. Because it's the fire line. You have to shoot at that thing, and that thing fires the ball right back at you. So you want to have your ball save active as much as possible. So right now it's active, so I'm going to go for this shot. Try anyway. But now my... So what I want to try to do is get the ramps. Hit the ramps. So that... Oh, missed it. So that I can light these lights here. So what I'm trying to do right now is hit this ramp. That is not lit, but I'm going to need to cycle through because I'm about to flip. But essentially, I want to get one more light so then I can activate my ball save so then I can continue going after that without worrying about a drain. So there's my ball save. Now I can kind of freely whack away at that fire line. Just missed the F. God damn it. Oh, there's your kickback. The other thing too, when the ball goes in the kickback, don't forget, move your light because you get... When the ball's in the kickback, move the H to be unlit because when the ball kicks back out, you actually get credit. So now I've got that second light lit just by getting the kickback. So another thing to keep in mind. And while I'm talking about that, I just wasted the rest of my ball save. So go back for that ramp and go for that ramp. Boom. Ball save is back. Just trying to hit that fucking F. There you go. And then now I have to hit. See, there you go. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like, have the ball rescue. I'm going for that. It's firing right back at me. Now my ball save is gone, so I'm going to try to go for the ramps again. Boom. I can hit one more. Boom. There's my ball save again. All right, got one more to complete the mode. Can I do it? Can I do it? Get up there, you son of a bitch. Gotta hit that stupid L. Got it! Thankfully, I had a ball save because I fucking went right back down the middle. So there you go. I completed the mode. 20 million points. Yay for me. And the reality is, I don't give a shit about those modes. I just want to lock the ball and get to my... Get back to my Firehawk. Soft landing. So now I need to lock two more balls. So you got flashing lights here. Of course I missed. There you go. Get one more, get to that magic multi-ball and see if we can get another. Oh god, right down the fucking middle.
The fire has jumped
see, and this is what I'm talking about. You get that bounce. And you know, one thing that I personally have to work on is figuring out a better strategy for when the ball's coming out of there, like what's the best thing to do with it. So if anyone watching this has recommendations on what they do to kind of settle that ball down and keep it from going right down the middle or keep it from going to a bad spot, because a lot of times if it's coming to a bad spot on your flippers and you're just trying to save it, you're whacking it against this and it's draining. So that's the biggest thing. But anyway, that's the tutorial. Hopefully you guys learned something and it'll improve your scores a little bit. Trying to get this posted as quickly as possible today. You got a couple more days of Flipper Friends, of this one being on the Flipper Friends. And thanks for watching. If you like this tutorial, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell me if it's helpful. Tell me if it's not helpful. Tell me if I suck at pinball. That's fine too. Just whatever. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. And we'll see you on the Discords and the leaderboards. Bye.